some challenges, but we have a lot of good going on. So take a moment to reflect on the good things that we all benefit from. And so all the songs on behalf of celebrating July. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded for information purposes. Saying that I have Joyce and this will be here. All right. Dina?
Roll call. Mr. Suttles?
Here.
Mr. Pereira?
Here.
Mrs. Devitt? Here.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to ask the trustees for a motion to accept the minutes for the month of June.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for the meetings held in the month of June.
A second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Suttles?
Yes.
Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Mrs. Devitt? Yes. I'd like to ask the trustees to table the payment of the bills for the month of June, because it's the first right now, and I don't have this ready.
Make a motion to table the paid bills for the month of
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Mrs. Devitt? Yes. Mr. Suttles?
Yes.
And I'd like to ask the trustees for a motion to accept the financial statements that I gave you guys on June 15th. Make a motion to accept the financial statements that were given to us in June.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Devitt? Yes. Mr. Suttles?
Yes.
Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
And it appears that we have communications.
This time, we are going to have an opportunity to swear our new chief of police. So, Eric, would you please join me in the flag? I tried to memorize it, but it was just too much.
Hey, Mark, would you mind coming up here a little bit so that
Oh,
we
yeah.
can have the
Please.
folks over? So we can see you.
No stickers enough there. It's a great honor to have this opportunity to share it, to swear in the new chief of police, Eric Sivich. Will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, to state your name,
I, Aaron Kasivich,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
I will observe and uphold the rules and policies
I will observe and uphold the rules and policies
adopted by the Brookfield Township Police Department
adopted by the Brookfield Township Police Department
and will bear true faith
and will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same.
I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties as an officer
discharge my duties as an officer
appointed to this department
appointed to this department
according to the laws of the State of Ohio,
according to the laws of the State of Ohio,
the Township of
the
Brookfield,
Township of Brookfield,
and Trumbull County,
and Trumbull County,
to the very best of my skills and ability.
to the very best of my skills and abilities.
I take this oath freely
And I take this oath freely
and without reservation, so help me God.
and without reservation, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Excited. This is a great opportunity, and I have big shoes to fill. I learned today how difficult some of it's going to be, and how much I really appreciate the former chief Gabe Faustino did for us. And I'm looking forward to some of the changes and some of the things that are yet to happen. And I'm glad you guys are letting me have this opportunity.
We're excited to have you. How about trustees with a picture?
Yes.
I'll get to work.
Okay.
Chief, you're up. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. Yes, for such a short agenda, I hope you have it quick. We, at this point, we take comments on the agenda items only. We'll take comments after the meeting, toward the end of the agenda, but this section is only for comments on the agenda tonight. Seeing none, we move on. Eric?
Okay, for June of 2024, the officers responded to 536 calls for service. 76 were reports, 74 incident reports, and 2 crash reports, which resulted in 28 arrests, 4 of which were drug related, 1 theft, burglary, or B&E, 4 assault, domestic protection work, or no operator's license, 2 for miscellaneous equipment offenses, 19 for miscellaneous moving offenses, no OBIs this month, 0 distracted driving. We had 9 speed citations and 1 seatbelt or child restraint citation. Calls we handled, we had 3 burglary or breaking and entering calls, 11 assaults or domestic disturbances, 7 criminal trespass, 3 vandalism or criminal damaging, 5 thefts, 3 identity thefts, 1 reported robbery, 2 reported sex crimes, 7 calls for threat, menacing, or telephone harassment, 7 calls for disturbances or acts, 8 calls for suspicious activity, 6 suspicious person calls, 12 suspicious vehicle calls, and 85 service calls. We had 18 traffic or parking complaints, assisted 15 disabled motorists, had 21 animal complaints, 23 alarm drops, and we patrolled 11,658 miles. Our fuel usage, it doesn't reflect the full amount due to the storage tanks and what we had to purchase, but of the temporary storage tanks, we were able to track 489.5 gallons used. Overtime, total overtime was 143 hours, 107 regular patrol coverage, and 36 hours were reimbursed through grants and programs. That's all for that report.
Any questions? Anyone for that report?
For the agenda, I was advised by our TMHA security coordinator that our Trumbull Metropolitan Housing Authority's security contract has been approved. They were going to give me a physical copy. We were hoping today, but they said it's not today, by Monday. But the contract stays the same, except for the past few years, we've received 5,000 hours of reimbursed overtime. They upped it, they doubled the contract to 10,000 hours of reimbursed overtime from 24th to June 5 for getting those. So I think.
Make a motion to renew the TMHA contract from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025.
I will second that.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Suddles?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mrs. Devitt? Yes.
Second item I had was the Gov Deals, the portable power center. We put it up for auction. The last meeting we discussed a reserve of $45,000. The highest bid was only $16,000, so it did not meet the reserve. Rather than reading this, I would hope that you guys be okay if we could table it for a month or so and then relist it? I hate to relist it, but it only goes that high.
Yeah,
So,
I
would
think
you
that's
guys,
a good point.
I don't think there's a hurry, so.
okay, all right. The other item, the levy renewal, approval ballot language, we received a certificate of estimated property tax revenue from the county auditor. And I believe we just need a second. Basic renewal levy on that.
Make a motion to proceed
With the what?
with the levy, which is a five-year,
Yes.
five-year lease levy ballot for November 5th.
Second?
Okay, discussion, as trustees, when there's any levy issue, we have to maintain a neutral position. Fire, police, road levy, we have to have a, based on personality, but based on positions, to be neutral. So, just a couple of comments, this, about 25% off, you know. So again, it's not a new levy, it's a renewal, and this is a significant part of the budget. So again, we as trustees have to take a neutral stance, but I'm sure the police department will be out there trying to gain support. They do a wonderful job, and this is a big gap, so we need to support what we can. Thank you.
I'd like to point out of all the levies that we have, including the road levy we just passed, police and fire levies, other than this one, this is the only one that comes up every 5 years. So I know Chief Faustino's posture at the last meeting was, this is kind of a check to see if the residents think everything's going good, and they vote for this on the ballot for another 5 years. It's, that's the only one we have. The rest are continuous, so you don't vote on those, those roll over. So this is the only one we have under that terms that every 5 years it goes to the voters and say, are we doing okay? That's one thing about your voice is a vote. When you vote, you get a voice in government. So this is giving you the opportunity to do that.
And the bottom line, $7 per $1,000 value by the audit. That back in mind. That's a very good.
All this stuff, we should also much money in your pay.
Very good.
All this stuff, we should also much money in your pay, value property. Under your own, much yours. It is. It is. This is.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carrera?
Yes.
Mrs. Devitt? Yes. Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And my last, I guess I don't really need a motion, but I wanted to discuss building closures, only because it's so close that I figured we should talk about it now instead of waiting to a department head meeting. But in the past, when our office coordinator couldn't be here for vacation time or had doctor's appointments, Chief Faustino and I, we would man the phones, the lobby, and just kind of keep the building going. I have no problem with us doing that, except for she took July 5th off. On that day, I'm going to be working with Officer Section, with Detective Section, in the evidence room, doing an audit and preparing for destruction work. And it's going to be really hard for us to kind of be able to hear the phones, maintain the phones, and come out to the lobby. So just looking for trustees' approval to close the administrative offices, which would include the administration building for that day.
Well, a couple, we definitely need to put it out on all the media sources, including our sign on our website. What I'd like to see us do, and this, I understand this good reason, is we need to move forward with getting somebody to fill in for our coordinator. looked in the past. I think we need to make that as a group, not just you, I mean us, as trustees, administration, to get somebody in for Tabitha to train so that we can at least, because that should not be expected. How about if you have a big emergency?
We locked the building.
Yeah, so in those cases, I think it's a good idea to close it on that day. I don't have a problem with that, but I think we need to look forward into getting a fill-in employee. We've had one in the past. In fact, that's what Tabitha was at the time. She was a little bit errant, so we should explore that.
I would agree. Good point. Then, with talking about closures, we have the generator project going. Bechtel is in need of disconnecting our power to transfer everything over to the transfer generators. Looking at scheduling, staffing, we have meetings and stuff. We're looking at Friday, July 12th to be the best day. But the issue we have is our current generator, the starter went in it and it's no longer operable. I can't see putting any money into repairing it with the new generator coming within the next few weeks. I did get a backup generator brought up here to operate our radio equipment and emergency things, but it wouldn't be enough to run the lights for the building, the phone system, and the other needed items inside the building for an extended period. They couldn't give me an exact time. They said it could be anywhere up to 4 hours that the power would be out, and it can be anywhere between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. So I'm just looking for a little guidance from you guys as to what we'd like to do that day. Maybe come in, and once they disconnect the power, I can't see making it out of the work in the dark.
Is that definitive? It is that day, the 12th for sure?
Yes, yes.
What day of the week is that?
That is right.
My suggestion would be, just for why, is that we close the building one day. Not, that would be my suggestion. I mean, you guys are gonna be here, but
We'll be
the
here.
fact that they announce it now, and we're closing it on the 12th instead of, that's just.
Yeah, it's much safer.
The detective will be here that day, so if in fact the power does come back on after a short period, we can still maintain the building. But I don't want to have her have to come and sit in the dark while we're dealing with that. So if it does come to it being done quickly afterwards and it's not a long process, I'll open it up for people. I'll be here to work. But
Yeah, I think we can inform her that she's off that day.
and I'll have hers also, which I.
Both of those? Yeah, might as well do it both at once.
Yeah, both of those days to get it out there.
2 Fridays.
Good, good point. Thank you.
That is all I have. Thank you.
Fire chief, service.
Thank you, Mr. Ferreira. Excuse me. For the month of June, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics responded to 192 calls for service. Of those, 149 were EMS, 6 structure fires, 11 motor vehicle crashes, 7 miscellaneous fires, 5 service calls, 6 wires or trees down, 8 fire alarm investigations. And mutual aid into the township 16 times, went out of the township 39 times. Of those calls, 18 were in Hartford, 20 were in Vienna. We had 267 total hours of overtime. I was unable to provide a fuel report. I had given Jamie the handwritten fuel log. He had forgot to make copies of it for myself. He wasn't in the office when I made the report today, so I was unable to access those. Firehouse 51 was closed 40 out of 60 shifts. I received a resignation from career firefighter paramedic Jeremy Glass, effective 7/15 of 24. Rescue 18 and Engine 51 are out of service indefinitely due to high cost of repairs and severe corrosion of the frame. That is all I have.
Just to clarify.
Yep.
The resignation. That fireman had left Liberty to come to Brookfield, and now he went somewhere else.
Yes.
So, we'll make sure that's right. Thank you.
Anything for the chief? Thank you, chief. Jamie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The road report for the month of June. Road department had 613 regular hours worked. There was no overtime this month. A total of 613 hours. We had 20 in administration, 84 in routine road maintenance, primarily patching and berm mowing. 15 hours in equipment maintenance, 250 hours at the cemetery with 2 burials. 2 hours signs, we had a sign on Cleveland Street. We had the, not Cleveland Street, Davis Street, I believe. They had put a new bulb in it. It was one bulb that was swinging. Tree cutting, we had 6 hours. That was on Cleveland Street. Shop time, 20 hours. Miscellaneous, we had 90 hours. That was about 40 hours your typical mowing the green, the highway, the administration building. We had about 50 hours up here working on the carport, extending that parking lot. We got the dirt extended. I think it's, hopefully the grass, we got rain right after we did the dirt work, so I think the grass will come up pretty quick, and I believe, are they doing the fence this weekend?
Sometime this week.
So the fence will be up this week. It's gonna close that in, and that should be done. 6 hours road information. We met, we discussed with the county a little bit on the, excuse me, on the paving program. And then we had a meeting, on-site meeting with Aqua. So if you live up on West Hill, they're in the process of, should be close to, the main line should be almost done on Meek Street. And then they've got some other streets up there working on. And they'll be doing the lateral connections. In other words, they'll be connecting to the houses up there. So there'll be some work probably for a couple of weeks in that area. And that should complete all their water line installations. I think they are doing, notifying houses that have, they're changing all the water line services so they meet the new standards. They aren't galvanized pipe. So if you have something that's galvanized pipe, Aqua will probably send you a letter, a registered letter, let you know that you're gonna have to change that service. I don't know what time frame they have set aside for that, but we're trying to get all those switched over. The park, we had 120 hours, just your routine maintenance. They are, I don't know if they informed the trustees, I know they did. Shannon knows, they're doing tournaments down here the next 2 weeks. So they'll be there, I think the 4th of July, they don't have anything going. But other than that, they'll be there every evening, on the weekends playing baseball. I think they're on every field except field number 3. So I do have their schedule now. Dave sent me a copy of their schedule. They're not going to use the ice. They won't use the ice. Yeah, I kind of thought that, but yeah. So fuel report, the tanks are about 80%. I think they put some fuel in them, so now the TNU service comes back. They've got a couple things to do. Then we're waiting on the fence. It'll have to be installed. So Youngstown Fencing is doing that. They'll be installing that fence, and then the fire marshal has to come out to a final inspection. So probably another, I'm going to say 2 weeks. But right now the fuel master system is down, so we can't get a fuel report. Once we get the fuel master back up, then we'll combine the handwritten sheets with the computer sheets from the early part of June, and then we can give you an updated fuel report.
The project that we do starter funds for the fuel.
Yes.
Does that include the fence?
Yeah.
So
That was part of it.
do you have a cost for that?
You know what, I don't have it with me. Yeah, I think we did discuss it. I don't remember what.
I wasn't clear whether it was an ARPA money or not. We're gonna split that.
Yeah, we'll split it into 3 or 4, yes.
Good try. You threw me off. Good try.
That's all I have for the monthly report, so if you have any other questions.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Last meeting, we had a motion to eliminate that we wouldn't provide children playing signs, that we are. And part of that is separate from the motion, because Dana asked me, did you order those signs?
I have not ordered.
Did you order them this week? 10.
Yeah, 10. Yes.
That wasn't part of the motion, but it was discussed at the same. I appreciate it.
The first item is, it was just informational. We did hire, for the residents, we did hire a new employee. His name is Richard Roberts. He's a lateral transfer. He worked at the Trumbull County Engineers. So we brought him over from the engineers. He started, his first day was today. So we completed a MOU and our memorandum of understanding. So I just want to inform you that he did start today and everything looks good. So, you know, he's got a lot of experience in this area of work, but he just needs to learn kind of where everything's at.
Background's done.
No, the background will be, I'll start with, this week, I'll give the information to Aaron, then he'll get started with the background, then we'll get the drug test.
That's all contingent.
Yes, that's contingent, correct, yes. And again, there is still, even within, there's a 1-year probation, so if something does go awry, we can fix that. Again, the second item is just informational, so we are tentatively scheduled to start the paving in mid-July, 17, 18, talk to the contractors. We're gonna meet with them, I think, on the 12th, just to go over some items before they get started. So it looks like they're gonna start up in the golf drive development in that area. They're gonna move from there to Valley View and then progress from there.
Where's it meeting?
It'll probably be either here or at their office.
You'll let us know.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, the scheduling is always dependent on weather in this business. So if you end up getting a lot of rain, then it pushes them back on other projects they're doing. So that's the tentative schedule. And I think you're probably looking at, 3 weeks, somewhere there.
There's a start in September like we did last.
Yeah, it won't be. But now, and again, Albright McKay is a subcontractor, yeah, so that one, we're gonna try and get done in August. We've got a pipe to replace out there. So we will be doing some work on various streets. We've got some catch basins and piping to do. So if you see, invoices for piping, that's just part of the project. And Mark, have you seen anything from Ohio Public Works? Okay, so they said the first or second week of, it may not be till after the 4th, because that has to be signed, that's
Check it
the,
right when you
yeah, we can't do anything.
and that's checked in case.
Yeah.
Check her.
Yeah, that's all I have, so if you have any questions.
Any questions, Jay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Code officer, Pete.
Thank you.
Fresh.
Trumbull County building permits issues this last meeting. We have a few here, 708 Overmeyer, last name is Hayne, solar installation, 614 Bedford Road, it's the Brookfield High School stadium bleachers. They initially permits for that. 7027 Warren Sharon Road, that's the our new Dollar Tree store. This is where they're signage. I can't believe they're sign it like. So the building is built, they're good to go for this summer. And just came in yesterday, we're 853 Valley View. DeMarco is the last name, and newer complaints that we're working on, 1158 West A. In fact, this came in at our talk to the trustee meeting. I did get over the bank and sent them a letter. They did that, so they did a fine job. That's good. 857 got it to 20 tenants there about the general condition of the property. I explained to him that I can only deal with exterior items. So, we take a bunch of material concerns too. So, 500 block South State Line, we had a house elected by the absentee owner. They took care of the glass and the grass and the trash. We have 8173 Edmund. We had health department together with the homeowner there. The dumpster was like 15 hours. 790 Fern, we have high grass, 637 Sun, we have high grass, 490 Bedford, that gentleman took care of that, so grass, 385 Bedford, which was a little problem here, that they did take care of that. still have a little bit to go on it, but they just got to brush on. We had 6979 Warren Sharon, it was a fence complaint, it was a valid complaint, the neighbor's fence is falling apart, it's a business next door that was complaining, and looks like they stripped all the panels off. So that one will be closed soon. 433 Cleveland, general condition of property owner, Colgate, I did say Colgate is working. 741 Gaylord, trash and debris, corner of First Street and Broadway, we got 3 inoperable vehicle accident, those 102 Yankee Run, it's been an ongoing problem, grass and exterior maintenance. So, another letter on that. 5688 King Graves, general condition garage, 1470 Collar Price Road, inoperable vehicles, and 8237 Lincoln Street, inoperable vehicles. And notices will be going out to those people, this property this week. And we had an address request, the gentleman wants to do a garage, it's an unaddressed property, 6,000 block from Road Chase, his address. But just one thing that is not, it's answered by our Citadel station today, it looks like we're doing a lot of same work.
Yeah, I have additional report that I'll mention in your mind.
That's about all I have. Is there any questions?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for
As
being
always.
Advantage board. Give you a chance to do something.
There you go. This is the senior band report, the money collected was $56. Just mouse trip, so 231 miles, volunteer hours, donated yes, 12.5, drop 1, back 7, for a total of 20 hours, 20 and a half hours.
Thank you, Mr. Kuback.
Yes, we have a new driver who 7 hours, put in good hours last week, so. Last month, I'm glad to see he's here to help. Anyone else want to step up? We got positions
Two
open.
drivers. Be gracious. All right, thank you. Anything on the old business? New business? Nothing for new business? All right, at this point in the meeting, we'll take comments from the public. In general, if you have any questions for us that we can try to address. If so, we just ask that you state your name and where you reside in Brookfield Township, and we'll try to address any concerns that might be presented to us.
Anna Murphy from the library. And I just wanted to give everybody an update of the block party. I think it was a success. We did have a few little snafus, but nothing major happened. The library saw approximately 300 people coming through our doors that day. That does not take into account anybody who came just for the touch of truck part or who were just up at G3. It was truly a community event. We had several Brookfield businesses and our fire police departments participating in the touch a truck. The fire department's vehicles were a particular hit. Not just the children, I've heard a few adults too were very excited to see that. On the other end of the block, we had a nice turnout for the car show. I've heard many positive remarks about it, and community organizations participated. Our little planning committee is going to be meeting next week to discuss how this one went and discuss how we would like to do one again next year. And I just want to particularly thank the township and our police, fire, and road departments for helping make this event a success. Make this happen.
And from my perspective, we had our talk trustee meeting, all three trustees were there, saw a lot of activity early on. I think the only thing that wasn't good for you was the weather. You can't control that. It was good meeting.
We prepared the library with having lots of water and ice pops, lots of ice pops, for people who may have needed them, but you didn't have to make people coming up.
Thank you for
Fun those.
doing that.
First one's always the hardest to get on
Yes.
yourself.
I think it was a big success.
Yeah. No, just, real quick, and I think I said this publicly before, but, Amanda leading the committee that we were on, was a handful of us, it was the most organized, well-informed, she had agendas each time, it was wonderful, and I look forward to helping you in next year, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments this evening, questions, concerns?
I'd just like to know, we're gonna have this many police officers at all our meetings? I like it. I feel pretty safe.
Thank you. Since we have no additional questions, we'll move on to trustees' comments. Mr. Sutton.
Okay, I got a couple of things that I want to update that I've been working on. It's ongoing in the township. First thing I want is, we had a talk with the trustee at Green. A couple of questions that came up. One was the concern of on Warren Cherry Road, the turning lanes in the middle of the road in between Bedford Road and Valley View Drive. I got a hold of the county and they are planning on doing those turning lanes. They have to select a contractor. They've done that, so that should be happening here in the next couple of weeks. Someone brought up about the gravel in intersections and county roads. They weren't specific. The county will come out with a brush and push. They don't have a sweeper like we do. We can't do county and state roads liability issues, but those issues were addressed to the county, and if I could identify them, they said they would address those. One thing I noticed at the meeting, they came to our meeting, was Cub Scout Troop 62. They seemed to help Amanda quite a bit. They were doing a little patrol, asked us if anything they could do. It's good to see a Boy Scout, Cub Scout troop in our township. A couple other things I wanted to update is on, everyone knows about the proposed injection well on McMullen Street, which is right off of Route 7. Goes up Route 7 South. There's a company that's trying to get approval for an injection well. I've been doing some work with the county commissioners on, there's property on either side of this site that the county commissioners own, so this company would have to gain easement through the county sites to do this. So we asked for their assistance. I went to the commissioners meeting on, it was Friday this week. I will say it was a short meeting. There were 2 commissioners there. I'll leave that up to you as why it's short. But the commissioners, the auditor, the legal department are all involved in the process of trying to see what this company's up to. They put in a request for a 3-phase electrical service on that property. And when the auditor, Martha Yoder, brought up they wanted to go underground to run that electrical line through the county property. She had some concerns. They put a Marks tower up there. If you don't know what that is, it's a radio system, not just for Brookfield, but for this part of the county for police and fire. And they had ARPA money, putting over $1 million into that site, so they're concerned. We're also, the county owned these 2 pieces of property that sold to this person. They have mineral rights on those that they maintain. And they're looking at legal to see if that means that they can control the injection on that site also. So they're looking at that. They seem very cooperative to try to help us out to stop another injection going into Trump County. And the fact that it's 1,000 yards from our school. When I talk to them, I bring that up every time. We have a school that's shifting ground underneath it as it is, and now we're going to inject something down PSI underneath it. 900 Urban Avenue is the new gas station proposed site. If you go by there, it's on actually US 62 in Dutch Lane. The township has some concerns about the access to Dutch Lane, being a 20-foot wide alleyway. So we had that property surveyed. We didn't have a survey, that's an existing survey, correct? 2000. So we have that in hand. I've been in touch with the Ohio Department of Transportation. There's water coming from that site onto US 62 if you go down that way. I call it aqua, they said it's not theirs, it's just pouring in the water. So we're looking to the ODOT, the Trumbull County Commissioner, or the engineer I talked to today about trying to limit access to Dutch Lane, so we're still working on that. And the last updates on our generator project, we use ARPA money. We discussed it earlier, we have a new generator going in this building that will control the whole building, at least on this side, and one at the road and fire that will do all those buildings down there. They poured the concrete, they're on site now, and the one generator leaves in, and the other one is in a couple of weeks. So those will be warming and cooling centers if we ever have an emergency where we lose all the power in Brookfield, which last spring, if you remember, that happened quite a bit. So we'll be able to provide shelter for people. It's something long-term, it'll be there forever, and I think it's good project to start on. Other than that,
Thank you, Dan. You says trustees are busy, right? Thank you. Shannon.
I was gonna speak on, block party, but, kind of some things real quick. I was able to sit and talk to our men and women on the police force and, in the fire department about some of the Takes Community Engagement projects. So I'd like to meet with our chiefs, coming up, next month or two before school, goes back in session, and, there was some, expressed some interest in getting back into school through the fire department, some of the guys. Some of the stuff we would like to collaborate on with the school, with some of the stuff with police. So, it was nice to just be able to chit chat with everybody on a casual basis and get some information. So I would like to speak to our two chiefs sometime the next month on some of those things. But other than that, that's it.
Thank you, Shannon. I'll put my comments with the meeting going next. If we could look, I know you've had a busy couple of weeks, we have a nice distraction coming up, is that right? So we're waiting not too far away. So I know you have a lot going on, but if possible, for our next department meeting, can you give us a summary on the ARPA funds?
Oh,
We need to, kind of start building that down with where the next projects will be, so.
can we also put on there a general discussion of future art
Sure,
projects?
yeah.
Is it just handy for us to have a meeting, or do you want?
Well, we can include it as part of the department.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
If you can, kind of give us like exposure you can with the dollars. I know we have some other things pending, so let's make that part of our July department team. Other comments, be safe during the Sturgeon, July celebration, and thank God for the way we do. Anything else from our meetings tonight?
Now, we'll schedule it, Todd, the trustee, will put here.
It's our department, 29.
Okay, if that's it, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion to approve this.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay.
Okay, how you doing? All right. Good. How about you? My wife. Yeah. All right. It's right there, my boy.